Welcome, everybody. Welcome to COBOL, allowing us to reintroduce ourselves. My name is Janice Haywood. I'm currently the chair of COBOL, and we have some, I don't know about the officers are on here, but we have Candia, as well as Sherry and Shahiwa and Tony. So we're all working together to do social media, to do treasurer, secretary. We're fairly new, we're fairly getting off the ground, and we have plenty of member organizations, which you're going to hear from soon. But just briefly, I just wanted to inform everyone that the purpose of COBOL is a union of Black professional associations in South Florida, and it's to encourage collaborative action by Black professional organizations to increase the impact of social, civic, and educational impact. As we saw from this past election, you know, there were a lot of topics or issues that affect us all, right? No matter what profession you're in, it affects us all across the board. And, you know, we know there's in numbers, and that is pretty much, and, you know, Shahiwa again will go into it, but that is, you know, what the CEO and founder of Broward County Black Chamber of Commerce realized in her role. And so without further ado, I'm going to now introduce our member organizations. And when I do, they will introduce their organization, provide you a little information regarding how to become, what their membership comprise of, how to become a member of those memberships. There's a lot of organizations that have non-member, for example, like there's a lot of lawyer organizations, but you can become a member of it even though you're not a lawyer per se, right? And so they're gonna talk more about that. They're gonna also talk about any upcoming events and also tell you about their any social media or ways to contact them, and we'll drop that in the chat. Throughout this whole conversation, if you have any questions that come up, please put it in the chat. And at the conclusion of Mrs. Jarrett's presentation, we will ask her some of those questions and allow her to answer those. So the first one I'm going to introduce is Mrs. Brown Stubbs from NFPBA. I saw her, there she is.
Everyone, thank you for having us. I'm Tressa Brown Stubbs. I am the second vice president for the National Forum for Black Public Administrators South Florida chapter. Oh, I just got real big. But
yes, girl.
Put me on the screen. So we are a premier national organization, but we are also based with our South Florida chapter. We are the famous chapter of the year. So we are a very, very busy chapter. Thank you for that. If you don't know about us, now you know. We develop professionals throughout the nation, Black professionals in the field of public administration. We do a plethora of training, events, networking, public service events to raise money for different charitable organizations. We just did one for the March of Dimes. A public service project that we just completed also was at Boyd Anderson High School. We did a seminar workshop with a group of kids. It went great. And of course, we pride ourselves on just building up our public administrators, Black businesses, making great relationships throughout our community. So we are a busy organization. We keep ourselves active throughout the year. Even with COVID, we became the chapter of the year because we kept the momentum going. We did art events online to lift each other up. We did professional development each month. So we are that organization. You can join us by becoming a member. Individual memberships are $200 annually. You become not only a South Florida member, but a national member. I've been a member since 2007. An organizational membership is $1,100 and up, depending on the category. The student membership is $35 annually. It does not matter the age of the student. So that is a very, very nice treat. And we also have a retiree membership that's $100 annually. And I think the transitional membership is also in that retiree membership. So we have opportunities for everyone to join. You can go to nfbpasouthflorida.org/membership to get that information about joining. We have a few upcoming events. Our next event will be on June the 3rd, 7 p.m. at Smitty's Wings on Sistrunk. We're having what we call an executive chat. We do those annually so we can get to know the up and coming professionals in our community. That executive will be Jonathan Allen. He's the director of Broward County Government Business Operations Division for Broward County Government. In June, we will have our premier national event, our conference, the NFBPA Forum 21. That will be virtual this year. However, it is a treat nonetheless. And I'm not just talking because I'm a member, but I've met some of the greatest people of our nation at those seminars or conferences. That's June 22nd through the 25th. And we are also planning probably a hybrid conference for emerging leaders, and that will be in October. So stay tuned, become engaged with NFBPA. If you have any questions, you can email us at secretary@nfbpasouthflorida.org. That's secretary@nfbpasouthflorida.org. And that is my report and intro on behalf of NFBPA. So thank you so much for having us. And Dr. Harris says hello.
Thank you so much. And if you, thank you for the information. And if you wouldn't mind, if you could put those events in the chat. And so if anybody wants to, are interested and wasn't able to get that, then you're able to. But thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate you being here because I know you are booked with meetings. So I appreciate that. Next, I will call on Miss Ashley Gant from the TJ Reddick Bar Association.
Hi, everyone. My name is Ashley Gant, and I am the president of the TJ Reddick Bar Association. I have one more month left, so the incoming president will be Deanne Jackson. But the TJ Reddick Bar Association is the Black Bar Association in Broward County, and we were founded and for the purpose of promoting professional excellence of Black lawyers in Broward County, increasing the enrollment of minority students in college and law school, expanding diversity on the bench, and promoting general welfare of African Americans in Broward County. So what does that mean? That means we have our hands in all different types of pots. As Janice mentioned earlier, if you are not a lawyer, you can become a member of our organization. Our website is www.tjreddick, REDDICK, bar.com. And you can join on our website. We are entering a new fiscal year. So our new fiscal year will begin on July 1st, which means if you pay on July 1st or afterwards, you have the entire year for our membership. And that will come with different opportunities to get in front of our members, to participate in our community events that we have. This past year, we pivoted to being virtual due to COVID-19, but we will begin having in-person meetings and events as we go forward, depending on what the CDC says, because the CDC might come back tomorrow and tell us, no, stay in the house. So we'll see. But we're looking forward to meeting you all. We are so happy and thankful for Shahiwa's forethought and sight to create COBOL, for Janice's leadership to get this program here today before us, so that we can all become one and we can all help each other in our different areas with our different expertise. So our website again is www.tjreddickbar.com. And please join us. You can follow us on social media, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and we're also on LinkedIn. So thank you.
Thank you, Ashley. And if you can,
oh, I have one more thing. I apologize.
No problem.
Our gala, our annual gala, our scholarship gala will be virtual, and it will be this year. It will be on June 26th, and the tickets are $30, and majority of the proceeds will be going to scholarships. So our goal this year is to provide as much money in scholarships to law students. And we also have a high school student scholarship. So please, please, please get the word out. If you know any law students, let them know that we have scholarships available, and we would love for you to join us on June 30th. I'm sorry, I said June 30th. That's my last day. June 26th for our gala. Thank you.
Thank you, Ashley. If you can drop your social media handles in the chat, and also your events or where they can get more information, that will be wonderful. Thank you. And next, I will call on Veronique from HLA.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for having us. My name is Veronique Mailbranch, and I am the Vice President of the Haitian Lawyers Association. Right now, I am working as an assistant city attorney, City of North Miami. It's a pleasure to meet everyone. A little bit about ourselves, about HLA. Our members include lawyers, law students, law professors, judges of Haitian and Haitian American descent, as well as those who are not of Haitian descent, but who have a vested interest in issues affecting the Haitian community. Our mission is really to
everyone, any threatening messages
I've gotten. Lord.
I believe someone has not muted themselves. So our mission is to promote diversity, legal awareness, and create networking opportunities. We have several events throughout the year, and an event that's coming up is a tete-a-tete that we have with someone plans it, and they invite a well-known person in the legal community to talk with us, and that's very informational. We join with different organizations. We have an event coming up with the Jamaican Bar Association. We have sport events. We also have picnics. We also have sponsors recognition event that's coming up. And I remember last year or 2 years ago, we had an event with the U.S. Attorney's Office. So that was really informational. So we have different events, and we accept, mostly people that have a legal background.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it for the information. And I think if I ask everyone to please mute your phone or your iPad or your computer while people are speaking, but thank you so much. Next, I will call Talea from NBA.
Hello, everyone. Okay, let's see. Okay, so good evening. My name is Talea Gray. I am the VP of Administration for the National Black MBA Association South Florida chapter. I am here sitting in for Elise Milholm, which is our president. He had a conflict this evening. Thank you for joining us tonight. The National Black MBA Association was founded in 1970 to help Blacks coming into the corporate sector share experiences and receive support in navigating the corporate world. In '87, the South Florida chapter was founded by 5 MBA employees from both Ryder Systems and Burger King Corp. And since we've grown to over 300 members spread across the Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach County areas in both public and private sectors. Our mission is to enhance the professional growth, competence, and effectiveness of our members. And we accomplish this by way of webinars, meet and greets, lunch and learns, and of course, our annual conference. This year, after much review, we will be traveling to Chicago for the 43rd annual conference and exposition. It will be both in person and virtual. We come together annually to support diversity in the American workplace and elevate the Black professional. This year's theme is Renew, Refresh, and Restart. At the conference, we will experience numerous sessions of professional growth, one of the nation's largest career expos with over 250 corporations and government entities looking for Black talent. And of course, a good time at our MBA Live, which is our annual conference party. For more information on conference and also how to join the organization, you can check out mbaa.org. To get in touch with the South Florida chapter, you can email us at info@nbmbasofla.org. Our social media handles, which I also put in the chat, is NBMBAASOFLA across all platforms. We're on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We also have a Leaders of Tomorrow program, which is for our youth. It's for high school students within the Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach area. And we also have an annual scholarship for them as well. If there's any questions, you can also contact me directly. My phone number is 954-248-0171. I accept phone calls and text messages, especially text messages. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. So is there a requirement that you have to know how to say NBMBAA? Because that's a lot of, I was trying to put in the chat, like, you know what? I'm gonna leave that up to you, because yeah.
You got it.
Thank you so much. So now we're gonna have, I think my screen is frozen, but give me a moment, but we'll move on. So now we're gonna have Joanne from CBA to present.
Thank you, Janice. Good evening, everyone. My name is Joanne Lauziliel, and I'm the president-elect of the Caribbean Bar Association, and we are thrilled to be members of COBOL, and I'm happy to be here this evening. The Caribbean Bar Association is a voluntary bar that was founded in 1994, and our motto, our mission is to inform, educate, and empower all of our members from the Caribbean American community, as well as to bring awareness of Caribbean American contribution to our community, not only in South Florida, but also in Central Florida. The way we accomplish this generally is by organizing various events. One such event I will give an example of was last year, we partnered with the city of Miramar, and we were able to introduce the public to meet the two Caribbean American candidates and civic leaders that were running for election that particular year. And we were able to introduce those candidates to the public, who may not have known that those candidates were of Caribbean descent, but also to, we find it very important to let people know that Caribbean Americans are heavily involved in our government and our local municipalities. So we had people from running for municipalities seats, your local councilmen, your the judiciary, and the like. So those events are very important to us. On top of that, we also host events that are just social get-togethers with our fellow lawyers and non-lawyers. We host CLEs throughout the year, and we also are very big on mentorship to law students as well as young lawyers. In February, we were awarded the Small Affiliate of the Year from the Florida Bar, which we take a great pride in. In terms of our membership, it is a mixture of seasoned attorneys as well as young lawyers. The membership dues range from $50 to $125, and they depend upon your level of your years of experience in practicing, as well as whether you practice in the public sector or the private sector. CBA is one of the bar associations that accept non-lawyers. We have an associate membership as well. And we have had several people take advantage, from court reporters to realtors to mediators and other persons in other professions. So we encourage everyone to, if you are interested in the Caribbean American community and pushing that awareness out there, by all means, please join us. As far as upcoming events, CBA is hosting on this Saturday, on the 29th, its final installment of a Navigating Small Claims court clinic, in which we have a panel of judges to educate the public about the inner workings of small claims, and to also help them better prepare themselves to file suit or to defend against a suit in small claims. Following that in June is Caribbean American Heritage Month. So that's a big month for us. Every year we partner up with the Broward County Bar Association for Taste of the Caribbean, which will be happening on June the 18th. So please be on the lookout for that. And this year we are also planning on honoring judges of Caribbean descent that usually don't get the recognition that they deserve. And we'll be hosting that event on June the 25th. If you are looking for more information or get to know us more, you can follow us. You can look at our website at www.caribbeanbar.org. You can follow us on Instagram at Caribbean Bar Association, on Facebook, CBA South Florida. And if you have any questions about our membership, about upcoming events, or if you just want to be put on our weekly newsletter, you can email us at caribbeanbarassociation@gmail.com. Again, thank you to Janice and everyone for creating COBOL and allowing us to be here this evening. And that's it for CBA.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And if you can drop that in the chat, so if anybody wants that information. Next, we'll go to Dianette Rivera from NAAHR. Did I say that right?
Oh, you got it. You got it. Good evening, everyone. My name is Dianette Rivera. I'm with NAAHR, another mouthful. They translate to the National Association of African Americans in Human Resources. NAR has been around since 1998. We were founded in Baltimore, Maryland. And we basically are here. We exist to provide a global forum for the career development of Black and African American HR professionals. NAR is unique because we definitely focus on career development and networking for Black and African American HR practitioners. And we focus on the issues and topics that relate to that in terms of workplace legislation, issues that we advocate, and we really tailor the webinars and curriculum and conferences to support Black and HR professionals in the workplace. And also for those that align with our goals and our mission and our vision. We have chapters throughout the United States and the Virgin Islands. Right now, there's a lot of going on. So what's really interesting with NAR, if you're a member with the national chapter, you can attend other webinar chapter, like the chapters around the United States host some amazing events, and you can log in and go see their stuff because now we're sharing all of it because of COVID. Everybody's like, everything's online and we're sharing everything. We have an upcoming conference coming up in 2022, which is focused on breaking barriers. And on the national level, there are some other things happening, and there's always the sharing of information and upcoming positions. There's a career exchange that you register as a member, and you can log in and make connections and apply for positions. There's a few levels of membership. There is the professional membership, which starts at $175. And once you're a member at the national level, you are also a member at the local level. That's included in your membership. And students are $30. As a business owner, we have a membership level for you as well. And that one is $450. And that allows you to also bid on contract opportunities that are posted, and you get some tailored information that would support you. It is a great honor to be part of this organization and also part of COBOL. I'm excited to share this tiny screen. I hope to meet everyone in person soon when we find out what are the rules for everything. But if you're interested in finding more information, you can find out information about NAR and what we do and what's happening by going to NAAAHR.org. And you will see all the information, and you can also check out the other chapters and what they're doing through the main platform. And if you need any information or you're looking for more information about us on the local, or you want to see how we can connect, if you're interested in HR things, you can email me directly at dianette.rivera@gmail.com, and I will put my email and contact information in the chat for everyone. Because my name is a little long and my children are coming out of the house.
Thank you so much. Thank you. HR, I will say HR affects all of us. So this is why
It
this coalition is
does.
so great.
So thank you again for having us.
Thank you. And if you can put also the website in the chat as well, so everyone can see. Thank you. Next, I'm going to call on Sheena Benjamin from the Gwen S. Cherry Black Women Association.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good evening, and welcome. I'm very excited to have you all today. My name is Sheena Benjamin Wise. I'm the president of Gwen S. Cherry Black Women Lawyers Association. Our organization was established in 1985 in Miami-Dade County, but we serve the whole state of Florida with about 400 members across the state. Our primary purpose is to support our community in legal, social, economic, and political needs, as well as meet the professional development needs of our Black women lawyers. We have an affiliate membership level, so we invite you, if your business or your work interacts in any way in the legal field, we welcome you to be a part of our organization. The affiliate level membership fee is $85 a year, and that gives you access to many of our CLE programs that we have available, as well as networking events for you and other members across the state. We have lawyers, law students, and other affiliate members, which include court reporters, psychologists, forensic accountants that come and participate in our events. We really encourage you to be a part of our organization. We do have some upcoming events. Our signature event is our Rainmakers Academy for 2021. And what that is, it really is a combination of different lawyers who have walked the walk, and they're there to help create new, strong Black women lawyer businesses, giving them the opportunity to ask questions about how to run a business, how to establish strong client clientele, and making sure they're able to be a thriving business in our community. That is this Saturday. It's the last leg of our series on the 29th, and that's at 10 a.m. We also have a Sister Soul Sunday that's scheduled for June 6th. And that is at 4 p.m. And that's an opportunity for us to come together and really have some sister bonding, talking about, things that might be getting to us, ways in order to cope, and talk about stress relieving strategies. And then we have, at the end of the month, similar to TJ Reddick, we have an installation ceremony that's going to be on Thursday, June 24th at 6 p.m. It is going to be a scholarship and installation event. So we too are changing our guard. And so we have our new president that's coming in. Her name is Nakia Ruffin, and she will be the new president as of July 1. And so if you want to find out more about our organization, please visit us at gwenschcherry.org. That is GSCBWLA. I'll put it in the chat. .org. We also have Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn as well. So please, if you have any information or you want to share with us, or you have questions, please reach out to me, Sheena Benjamin Wise. You can reach me at info@gscbla.org, and I'll put that all in the chat. Thank you. And thank you, COBOL.
Thank you, Sheena. And last but definitely not least, we'll have Tony from BOMA. Please spotlight him. But you can go ahead and start talking, Tony. Is he there?
Okay, perfect. There we go. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Awesome. Hello, everybody. Thanks for this amazing gathering. I feel so special. I got all these amazing, intelligent, superior-minded women all to myself. Can't wait to talk to Eric Knows about this. Anyhow, I'm the president of BOMA, the Black Owned Media Alliance. We were formed, I'm one of the original members. We were formed 5 years ago. And when we formed, we came together, Dexter Bridgman and I, and Sandy Walker with the Gospel Truth, came together because there was a disparity report that showed that Black businesses received less than 1% of business in both Broward and Dade County. And it was sort of similar to what we had seen in many years before. So we came together to address the disparities in contracting to Black-owned media. Media is everything. This is where we get our information. This is where we get our perceptions. And Black-owned media has carried the banner of information where a lot of other media outlets won't. So, and the other thing that we wanted to do, once we got dug in deeper, we found that disparity, of course, transcended across almost every single industry segment. And so we had to expand our mission to not only address disparities in our own industry that are there, but also to address disparities across other industries, not to attack, but to inform those entities that were not doing business with us, not sharing the opportunities, the money, and the contracting and the vendor and all that to happen. I was elected last year in a pandemic year. I'm the second president, and we had our best year ever, actually, where we were able to launch many campaigns under my leadership and the brilliance of our members. Speaking of our members, we have 15 members, many of which you've heard of. Bobby Henry, Westside Gazette, Garth Reeves, Miami Times, the WMBM, Legacy, Miami Media, Khalib Thomas with Island Origins. So if you know those names, and you should, those are some of the most talented and brightest people that I've seen in the country. And so I'm honored to lead them. They also reach collectively about 2.5 million people per month. I lead an organization that not only makes films, TV, and videos for companies, but we also have 4 different web channels that serve various segments of our multicultural community. When we say Black here in South Florida, we're not talking about your average, just your Black. We're talking about folks from the African diaspora, whether they speak Spanish or Creole or Patois or any other thing, from the Virgin Islands to New York. So we know that we are a diverse group, and we try to make sure that that's reflected. Some of the successes that we've been able to attain is endorsing, taking candidates for elected officials who are running for office, rather. We took them through a lot of interviews and made some decisions as to who we would endorse as a group, as an organization. 87% of those we endorsed actually won. Some of those endorsements were a tilting factor. Now the issue is holding them all accountable. That's really, really important, is making sure that we hold them, white, Black, or otherwise, accountable. And also really challenging the status quo of some of the things that have been happening. Social justice is always at the front of the priority line as it relates to things. So we really, really need to be partnering with you. One of the things that we want to do is with this group, with COBOL, one of my missions was to begin to form partnerships, get more exposure for you all, and begin to set that in place, especially now that we're able to get one-on-one, not only with our media outlet, but all the other media outlets to inject, because people don't even think about the legal community until they need a lawyer. And so our perspective is, and our company, and what I'm trying to push to BOMA is open the doors to make sure that we do more interviews, more consistent exposure to issues with you all, so that people don't think of it when they need it, that they're thinking of these things as it relates to the legal aspect, because it touches every single part of our lives and politics as well. So that's that part. We do 3 events each year. The symposium, the BOMA Symposium, where we teach small businesses, ad agencies, how to deepen your brand So the BOMA members will come and talk about the different kinds of campaigns and advantages and strategies you can use to do cost-effective marketing, because Mercedes-Benz is one of my clients with our web channels, and they sponsor our shows. So they can afford a lot more than your average small business. So what we're trying to do is make sure that we realign our numbers and our ad opportunities from all 15 of our media outlets to a place where even the smallest business can afford it, because that's what we have to do. If we're asking our Broward County government and Miami-Dade County government and the state government to look at us in a way that we understand that we can do the work, we want to be equal, but there are inbred and systemic issues that prevent us from competing on a level just like it may happen to you. Our biggest successes was our annual awards, our virtual awards, which for me was good because I thought of it and they executed it and it came out really well. That award is still on Facebook. So that's that part. A couple other things. We are building our website. I didn't like the previous website as much because we've outgrown it. So we are constructing another website. So next week should be. I didn't hear you.
No, go ahead, Tony.
Okay, so yeah, next week we'll be launching our website, and you all, COBOL was the first to show our brand new logo. So thank you for that. I want to say Janice and Shahiwa were helpful in getting us on that page. I guess the only last things, just a little about myself. Yeah, I started in this business 29 years ago with Channel 10 as a producer. We won Emmys and all that stuff. I left there and started making films and TV shows and music, and I still do that today through my business. And I want to say that as we look at situations like this month, today's a George Floyd anniversary of his death that changed the world. It is up to us in the media to not let people forget, because the contributions are starting to go down. The awareness is starting to go down until someone gets killed. So we got to fix that. That's one of our key things. And we're hoping we can partner with you all with consistent dialogue about what you're doing and what our community should be doing as it relates to awareness, not only in the political circles, the legal circles, and the social circles, and how all that synergetically work together. I am all over social media. I will be working social media with COBOL. All you guys got to do is tell me what to do and how to send it, and we're off to the races. We also do lots of production. So our company will also offer that to COBOL at no cost, because we're kind of expensive. So there are no costs there. And Shahiwa has been an amazing sister to me, helping me stay on point, and so has Janice. So thank you for all that, and thank you for the time. I will drop my email in here, and hopefully we'll be setting up things with all of you. All right, that's it.
Thank you, Tony. So as you hear, we have a lot of great organizations, and I'm going to turn it over to our wonderful, wonderful guest, not really a guest, but our feature speaker, Miss Shahiwa Jarrett. Time is running, so I'm not going to take a long time to speak of her, but I will say that Shahiwa Jarrett, she currently serves as a general counsel and vice president of compliance for the Jellin Benefits Group, LLC, an insurance brokerage and advisory company. She worked as a federal litigator for about 17 years. Maybe she's like, don't tell my age. Okay, she's volunteered with several community organizations. She received many, many, many awards. In the wake of the Buy Black and Bank Black movement, she founded the Buy Black Broward in 2016. And in 2017, she incorporated the Broward County Black Chamber of Commerce, which COBOL falls under. I'm going to turn over to Shahiwa. I love her dearly. I just don't love that she graduated from FSU, but it's okay. She went to Law and she received a certificate of nonprofit from Duke University. She's married and has one son. So Shahiwa, I am turning it over to you.
Thank you, Janice. Thank you, everyone, for being here. I have just been so inspired in listening to all of you talk about what your Black organizations are doing. And so that was really the vision behind COBOL. I'm going to share my screen and try to just go over a few things about why COBOL, why the Black Chamber, and kind of just loop it all together. And then we'll kind of answer some questions later. But it's good to see us just here speaking on what we do, how we're making a difference and an impact in the community. I am here for all this energy that you all were given today. So I do want to just kind of give a basic understanding of what the Chamber is, as most of you will have, since everybody kind of introduced their organization. So the Chamber is just solely dedicated on the growth of Black businesses, growing that revenue, their bottom line, through education and other programming. And of course, advocacy plays a big role in that. We're firmly focused on, we have 7 areas of focus, but we're focused more right now and more immediately on private and public contracting, because we need to get our Black businesses increased utilization in those 2 areas. Because that's what leads to us not having jobs, et cetera. We have to push that. And so we advocate, and we have been very busy because Tallahassee was very busy. So we're very busy advocating on a state, local, as well as a federal level, given all the PPP and issues that came up last year. So it is our vision to not only provide that advocacy for public and private contracting, making sure we're providing education so our companies are ready for the opportunities when they present themselves. And then thirdly, promoting our companies. And, we promote obviously our members, but we promote also that Buy Black concept of supporting each other. So as we're telling government entities and other private corporations to utilize us, we're also making sure that we promote that within our own community to utilize Black businesses as well. You see a lot of smiling faces here. This was a wonderful day. This was the day of our launch. You see our original board. We launched in August of 2018 during National Black Business Month. You see, many of you are familiar with Judge Gillespie. He swore in our board, and with Rodney Baltimore, who was our moderator. But this was a really happy day, and we've grown so much since then. So here are a few chamber facts before we get into COBOL and the impetus for that. As you see, when we were incorporated, our official launch in 2018, we're now well over 190 members. And we're not 3 years old, but we're pushing. Well over 2,500 people have attended our chamber events. And we have a diverse company membership, as you see here. We have lots of lawyers, but we also have people who make signs. We have janitorial services, real estate agents, staffing agencies. We have companies in construction, as well as companies that make, their own cleaning products. You name it, we have it. And if we don't, we're not afraid to refer people to businesses outside of our chamber membership, because the point at the end of the day for us is to support and help build Black businesses in our community. I did want to highlight that last year we got our 501c3 status. So we also have a foundation attached to the chamber. And so you'll see a lot more well, we always have educational programming. We don't do just network and a network. We network for about 30 minutes and then we get into something meaningful. But the foundation will allow us to really go after all those dollars that these corporations have promised and that they need to make good on, so that we can then have grants and other opportunities for Black businesses here in the local area. And just in the vein of everyone else kind of announcing some upcoming events, we have an upcoming event on winning a contract with Balfour Beatty coming up on June 8th at 6 p.m. And you'll see more of that on all of our platforms as well. So what's the point of COBOL, and why did I want to create this organization? I love seeing all your smiling faces, but there's a point behind this. And the origin of the idea really came from when I was in college. And I said, why can't I do this as an adult? In college, we all had to go to the student government to get funding for all of our little Black organizations. As Janice mentioned, I attended Florida State University. And a group of us got together and thought, well, we all come in, we pay a certain percentage of these student fees, and we're getting pennies. Our organizations are getting allocated pennies, and we have active organizations. So we got together and created our own. First, we created a COBOL organization with all the Black organizations on campus. And then we created our own funding board and went after that money for Florida State to fund directly in our hands to our Black funding board, so we could then control our money. And it was that control that allowed us to do what we needed to do and get our fair share of dollars there on the campus. So I kind of said, I want to do something in that vein where we come together to have a bigger and larger impact in our community with our Black professional organizations. And so in essence, what is COBOL when I was thinking about it, right? I'm trying to, bring you in my head and organize all these thoughts that I had at the time. It's a coalition formed under the umbrella of the Broward County Black Chamber, and it's comprised of local Black professional organizations. And what is the purpose? Really, we want to mutually help each other grow and develop, right? We often operate our organizations in silos, and you kind of have your following, but the point is you have information and events that perhaps more people should know about in the community, and you can do that when you operate collectively. So you'll have that greater impact and reach through partnership outside of just maybe partnering with similarly situated organizations. Partner with organizations that have nothing to do with you. That's how you spread your information, and we wanted to do that. Also implementing activities to help the members of each organization receive additional value. So we have organizations that are made up of people who are in public administration, people who are lawyers, etc. Well, I'm a chamber. We have, events that relate to business development, et cetera. So it goes beyond one particular profession, whether it's legal or accounting, et cetera, engineering, it goes well beyond that. And so the point is, if you're a part of COBOL, you can offer those additional resources. There's a larger network through, our, through COBOL and our partnerships, and there's more information sharing with regard to opportunities there. So I thought about the different types of collective impact we can have. And, I just want to make sure that we're hitting the ground running. And these are just ideas and some of the things that, we will do. And I'll mention some of the things we have done so far, because COBOL initially came about when I started reaching out to some of our local Black professional organizations in 2019. So this isn't something that just popped up. I started reaching out in 2019 to different Black professional organizations to say, let's get together, let's coalesce, let's have some type of joint agenda and do things together. And so here are some of the ways in which we can have that collective impact: doing voter registration, voter education. But then we had one of our members suggest last year, Ashley, the president of TJ Reddick Bar, to have a to kind of support FRRC, the former felons, and collecting monies to help them pay their fees so that they could vote. That's true community impact. And so we want some of those ideas obviously to come from our members so that we can then support those initiatives. Education. Let's just be clear. I hear from our schools, we have community service programs at Dillard and BA and some other schools. And quite frankly, they are starved. I was told by administrators straight up, we need to see your faces, Black professionals in this space. And so we want to make sure we're reaching out to the next generation of not only business owners, but in every profession. So career days and reading days, special events, such as supporting the Boyd Anderson Clothing Boutique, and Chamber Speaker Series. We get requests for speakers. I just got one from a woman who's putting together a series, a 6-part series. And so if we don't have that resource in the chamber, I want to be able to reach out. And so COBOL can provide that. And obviously that gives the organizations as well as the individuals increased exposure. Health, that's been huge. And so if we got together a little bit before, we could have put together some education events. We got Black nursing organizations, Black doctor organizations, and they could lead the way, but then COBOL kind of comes in and provides some of that organizational and logistical support to maybe organize a vaccine site. We could have done that. And of course, donations toward Black-led and Black-focused nonprofits, because Lord knows they're starving. But we can be focused like that and intentional in our activities. And something else that's very true and near and dear to my heart, board service. Because my point is, we have talent. We have people who are experts, and we need to be showcased on these boards, city boards, county boards, and local corporate boards. And once again, the chamber gets inquiries. I got one from a bank the other day, sitting on the advisory board, and we get inquiries. People are looking for service. And so my point is, We talk about diversity, we need to be the diversity, right? The diversifying factor in these agencies. And so I want us as professionals to step up and make sure we're serving in this capacity, because we have the knowledge, we can do it. And like Michelle Obama said, I've been in these rooms, they're not that smart. We can serve, and we're more than capable of doing that. So that's where my heart kind of really lies there on that board service, and us showcasing our expertise and allowing others to know that we are here, right? We are here. Obviously, information sharing is important. And as we grow, I want us to think about having a joint annual calendar, so everybody knows what's going on in Black Broward, Black South Florida. Like, we need to do this. So we're supporting. And then so like some of our events don't conflict with each other. That's also helpful. But it's just helpful to know, like, this is what we're doing. This is what's going on. We're active as a community. Nobody can say, I don't know what's going on. I don't know. Where's Black South Florida? We need to have that. Obviously, as a part of COBOL, we need to be sharing each other events on social media and in our e-blasts, and supporting each other's events by participating. And then I want to make sure I'm doing my job as a chamber and ensuring that all of our Black businesses know about opportunities, because that's my goal. So whether they're members or not, my point is a lot of the organizations that are part of COBOL have entrepreneurs in them, and there's plenty of opportunity. There's over $1 billion hotel going up with all kinds of professionals at the port. There's a convention expansion. There's a joint government center, over $1 billion that's being proposed. There's more than enough money for not just people in my chamber, but for people that in other organizations. And we have to get the information out there. We have to prepare people for these opportunities. And so COBOL is a very unique and important way of pushing this information out so that all of our professionals are aware. And I think it's just us getting used to the idea that, yes, we may be a lawyer or a realtor, but guess what? There are government contracts that you can qualify for as well. There are private opportunities that you can qualify for as well. So we have to do that. And just the event I shared, just to give you an example, with Balfour Beatty coming up, one of our members that's a lawyer, KVL, we're going to be making an introduction for them to be able to work with them and do business with them. And so that's what we want to be able to do, to reach out to whoever is in COBOL and make those opportunities happen. And so just as an example of some of the information sharing that we do as a chamber, and that we encourage people who are members of COBOL, this is a commitment we have to make to each other. Whenever I see an event that will be beneficial to my members, because we're not having an event every day. And so if I see something that's beneficial, I'm going to share my sister or whatever organization, hey, they have this going on. I felt that this navigating small scale court would be helpful for my members. So I shared it. And that's what we need to do. We're all having valuable sessions, and we need to be able to share that freely with each other. And I think also we should also have our own signature events. I just think that's important, specifically for the last reason I noted, which you've talked about. But we need to know each other. We need to know who we are, right? People talk about, oh, I don't know, a Black nurse or a Black this or a Black that. Well, we need to know who we are, because that increasing your network can increase your net worth, right? Especially if you have a small business and you're trying to, grow that way. But we also want to have community impact, and maybe having a joint MLK or Black History Month event would be wonderful. Instead of, the few Black officials and leaders we have running around 100 events during Black History Month, we can just have a huge throwdown of 500 to 1,000 people where we celebrate with each other in a communal setting, or even in a conference or something like that. So I think that would be lovely. But the point is, when we get together, there's increased impact. And that means there's opportunities to fundraise together. So you may get $5,000 or $10,000 here and there from sponsors, but if we come together as a coalition, that's my point. We need to start asking for that 100,000, 250, and then splitting that up against, amongst each other. That's the vision. Like I said, that goes back to my college days when we got together to put together that funding board. So we're making sure that we're funding our organizations and they're being sponsored in the way that they should be. And we can get there if we do some collective and collaborative fundraising with some events. So what is my point? We need to unleash our talent here that we know we have and have that huge community impact through volunteering and education, raising more money together, increasing the visibility of our organizations so that we grow. And look, serving at higher levels in leadership because we can do it. I know locally we need to get some people here to serve on, say, the Broward Health Board. You know, they get appointed. You know, we need people to build up those resumes to be able to serve in these high capacities on a county and state, as well as a local level and city level. So that's the point here. Let's unleash our talent together. So Janice kind of mentioned this, but I just kind of wanted to give a shout out to my originals here, who was COBOL, and thank everybody for being a part of it. And then thanking everyone who's hopped on today and to say, what are you waiting for? You need to join us. We're about to get ready to move and get things going. And we already did. I mean, last year, with all the confusion with the elections that we had, once again, one of our members came up with a great idea. Ashley of TJ Ruddock, I think Janice helped with putting that together. Quite a few people helped with putting together, where we got the current, the former, right, at the SOE, Broward SOE at the time, to come on and speak. And so, you know, we wanted to make sure everybody had correct information. So we got together to make sure we made that happen. And that's just one of the examples of what we've done in the past. So who can join? Other Black professionals, organizations who want to collaborate and grow. So this is for my Black professional organizations, so we can pull on your expertise. So Black dentists, Black teachers, optometrists, realtors, engineers, you know, do we have a NSBE local chapter? Do we have a NABA local chapter? You know, a Black psychologist. I think they signed up. I think Janice told me they signed up there on the line. You know, you get the idea. We're calling on our Black professionals to show up and show out and turn this community out with our activism and our activity. That's what we're doing. That's what it's about. So I can start sending out these press releases. Look at what we're doing. Look at what these Black professionals are doing. We're hitting it. So how do you join? Well, you know, thanks to the takeover, the COBOL, and I do thank you for stepping up to be the chair, Janice. I thank you so much for really stepping up and being a leader and pushing this effort forward. You can contact our COBOL chairperson, Janice Haywood, Esquire, who's done a phenomenal job of making sure we're on point and we're moving forward with our initiative. Sign the MOU, and then we just ask that it's $100 contribution. Really, that goes back towards you. It's the COBOL fund for any activities that we put together. And then really just commit to the following. In essence, just designating a primary liaison, a secondary one, and, you know, giving us the courtesy if you change up your designees to notify us within 10 days. Attend quarterly meetings, hopefully at least 3 a year. You can do that. Pay the contribution, and then just participate, promote the COBOL events, and then engage, participate in the scheduled events, and then make sure that your organization partners with another COBOL entity to create a new activity, or just participate in the COBOL events and help big them up and fully participate is all we ask. Because once again, it's about having collective impact and working together. And so with that, I think I did pretty well. So with that, see if we want to take any questions.
Yes, if there's any questions, you can unmute, and I don't know if Shahil, you want to stop screen sharing so you can, if you want to see faces.
Let me see if oh, here we go.
But yes, if you have any questions, you can unmute yourself. And again, a lot of you know where to email me at browardcobol@gmail.com. We're so excited. So I'll just, any questions, or Shahil, I have a question. What is the difference between, because I get a lot of these questions, joining COBOL as opposed to joining the chamber? Like, what is the difference?
Right. Well, with joining the chamber, you're getting a full list of chamber benefits. And so, you know, we're advocating on behalf of your organization on a state, county, and federal and local level. And then you get other types of support. And I can put that in the chat because we have literally a listing of the benefits for each level. So there's a different level for nonprofits. if you join as a sole proprietor, and then if you join as a small business, and it goes up from there, and the different membership levels. But that's being a member of the chamber and being fully involved in like our referral groups. So you're getting referrals to your business and for your service. We spotlight our members every Monday on our social media. You're going to be on our email blast, which were invaluable, especially during COVID. But in general, we're putting grants in there, pitch contests in there for our businesses. We're putting procurement opportunities in there. And I'll kind of share, I guess, a link maybe to our brochure as well, because we go into that. We have a Mask for Members program. So we give away and still giving away free masks and hand sanitizers for our members. You have access to a procurement platform called GovSpend. That's generally, I think now it's $12,000, but you get it free, and access to free pricing for your competitors, free pull down of proposals from your competitors. And then obviously you get access to RFPs that come out all over the nation really through this platform. So you're not paying the $12,000, you get that free as a member of the chamber. And then lastly, I'll say this, we know that, you know, an issue with a lot of small businesses is access to capital. So, you know, we have partners that help get lines of credit and business loans to our members. And so, you know, we have those special relationships on top of a special mentoring program. So that's, you know, the chamber membership. With regard to COBOL, you're joining the coalition as an organization to do all the things I mentioned earlier. Collaborate to have that larger impact, but you're not going to have, you know, access to all of the chamber benefits. It's just the COBOL benefits, which I just, you know, listed. So it's a different set of benefits for each entity.
Thanks, Shania. We have a question. How can the Black media better connect and close the disconnect between us and our emerging leaders, like what we see here?
Well, I will say this. I will say we have to showcase them more. And that's why I really wanted BOMA to be a part of this, because, you know, I've known Dexter and Tony for quite some time. And I actually partnered with Dexter on a few activities in 2019 with the chamber. And we have to draw in more of our leaders. And this is a way to draw in BOMA so you can know who's running these organizations, right? You can showcase them. And I think for me, I'm a little bit more proactive. So I've actually reached out to like Caribbean National Weekly, South Florida Times, and say, hey, I want to write a column. I want to do this, you know, a business column. Well, I mean, some of our legal organizations can maybe collaborate and do a legal column, you know, for the papers, or do a little legal segment on your show, Tony. So this is how we can start to, you know, we collaborate on, you know, different events, et cetera, together, but then we start to mesh and utilize each other in different ways. And that's really kind of the vision. Once we start operating in the same space and sharing ideas, then it's like, oh, okay, well, I can use you for this. And why don't you do this with me? You know, the Black MBAs don't know, but I got plans for them to do some consulting with my Black organizations, collaborate with the lawyers to do a couple legal sessions. And that's the whole point. We have to utilize each other, which, you know, therefore adds to the exposure. And then you get some new clients that way, you know, but definitely on the media side, we need to start showcasing our Black leaders of all these organizations, and thinking creatively beyond, okay, you know, showcasing them on social media, but doing articles and features, I think would be perfect.
Thank you, Shahiwa. Dr. Philip Harris has his hand up, so you can go ahead and unmute it and ask.
Kind of like piggybacking off that comment. Good evening, everyone. I'm not sure if Tressa had the opportunity to talk in reference to the upcoming the Emerging Leaders Affair that we have coming up. And so I think that amongst being members of COBOL, I think it's important, just like how we're coming together, that we also bring our emerging leaders so they have their platform. So, like, for example, I had our emerging leaders run our whole public administration day at Boyd Anderson, right? That was a couple weeks ago, or last month. And so they ran the whole program talking to all the high school students in reference to the importance and the career opportunities within public administration. I think like this executive chat that we have coming up at Smitty's on June 3rd, opportunities just like that. And the reason why I'm bringing it up is because this is what we did in Tampa, right, with our collective, just like COBOL, was we eventually brought all our emerging leaders or young professionals, because some of them call them young professionals. We came together and we also, had their networking functions. So them as young professionals, they were able to kind of start as well. And to a certain degree, it was almost like us as veterans members. We kind of sat on the perimeter, and kind of like help them, like foster them to start understanding the importance of networking and understanding how to connect and so on and so forth. So I think that may be something we can put on the platform as an action item, that if organizations don't have an emerging leaders platform, to start maybe thinking about establishing one, but then let's start bringing the ones that we do have emerging leaders together so they can start, because that's the next generation coming up.
I love that, Phil, because I know, Ashley from TJ was talking earlier about the scholarships that they do, but they do a mentoring picnic to kind of grab, and, law schools have their minority associations, like I know the CBA, they have a Caribbean bar on the UM, and I'm sure Nova and all these different campuses, as well as Balsa chapters. So that would be wonderful. And the Black MBAs have their Leaders of Tomorrow program. So I think that merges really nicely. And we have a student membership and have reached out to Broward College to kind of bring their entrepreneurs, emerging entrepreneurs anyway, from their program into the chamber. So that's a really good idea. We have to support our new emerging leaders. You're right.
It worked really well with us in Tampa, with the Black MBAs and NFBA. We used to do so much together with our two young professional groups, and then they eventually end up starting to do things in the high schools too as well. And then they start doing cross-functional internships. It was really, really innovative.
Very nice. So you've been nominated for a committee. Go on there, Dr. Phil. Janice doesn't play. She'll be calling you.
Yeah, I'm in a minute. Any other questions? We do have an upcoming event on July 7th with the current supervisor of election. Yeah. If she will share that. But again, if you're part of an organization, your organization wants to be involved, here she goes. Here we go.
Yeah, so we do have an upcoming event because now we have a new Broward County Supervisor of Elections. And as you know, I hope you didn't have to go through the turmoil of last year to let you understand how important elections are. But we have some really high stakes elections coming up with the passing of Alcee Hastings. And a lot of people of color are going to be going after that seat, which means a lot of vacancies on the county level, city level, and state level. So we have our new SOE, Joe Scott, who's going to be talking about the upcoming elections and teaching us about some of the laws that were passed in Tallahassee on when mailing in voting ballots, and also dropping them off, all of the new laws that have been passed, so we can get the latest on the upcoming elections as well. So we're really excited about that.
Thank you, Shiva. So if there's no further questions, I want to thank everyone for coming out and listening to us and learning about COBOL and how we're greater together. And I think Shahiwa gave a great example of the small claims court that CBA is doing. All of us could be affected by small claims court, right? And I even reached out to the Black Social Workers Association. It's just that we can do so much together than individuals. So we thank you all for being here, for being present. Again, if you want to reach out to me, browardcobol@gmail.com. You can either ask for information to join the organization, or you can just ask, hey, let me know when you guys have an event coming up, so we can advertise it out individually. Either way, we are committed to make change, not only in Broward County, but in Florida. And so we thank everyone for coming, and have a good night.
All right, have a good night.